today's lesson is 5.9 in our Go Math book, and we are problem solving with subtraction. The essential question is, how can drawing a diagram help when solving subtraction problems? We are on page 261. Jane and her mom made 33 puppets for the craft fair. They sold 14 puppets. How many puppets do they still have? So today we're working on unlocking the problem. This is so important. You need to know what your problem is telling you and what it's asking you to do. So what do I need to find? What are they asking? We need to find how many puppets they still have. It says it right there. How many puppets do they still have? So what information do I need to use? They made 33 puppets. It tells us right there. They sold 14 puppets. So today we're going to use a bar model to help us solve and writing a number sentence with a blank. So we know that they made 33 and that they sold 14. What we don't know is how many are left. So if you look at our bar model, the bar has two parts to it. One part, here's the second part. And then this part is the whole. We know the whole. We know how many puppets they made. They didn't make any more. They made 33. And we know one part of the 33 is the 14. What we want to know is how many are left. How many puppets are left? So we know how to rewrite a number sentence. 33 minus the 14. And we have 3 minus 4. Can we do that? Nope, so we have to go next door. And instead of 3 tens, we will have 2. And instead of 3 ones, we will have 13. 13 minus 4 is 9. And 2 minus 1 is 1. So the answer is that they have 19 puppets left. That's also the other part. These two parts, 14 and 19, when we put them together, makes 33. Turn your paper over. We're going to do some more problem solving here on this page. And our directions say label the bar model, write a number sentence with a blank for the missing number, and then solve. Carlette had a box of 46 craft sticks. She used 28 craft sticks to make a sailboat. How many craft sticks were not used? So what do I need to find out? I am trying to find out how many craft sticks were not used. That's the question. So what information do I need to use? Well, I know that she had a box of 46. That's all she had. So that's my total, my whole. I'm going to put 46 there, and I'm going to put 46 down here. And I know that she used 28 craft sticks. So she used them. So they're gone. So we're going to subtract those. So that's part of the 46. 28 is part of the 46. What I'm trying to find out is how many are left. How many did she not use? So we're going to make a T here. The 46 minus the 28. I need to remember that minus sign to let people know what I'm doing. And so I have 6 ones and I want to take away 8. Can I do that? No. So I have to go to the tens place. Instead of 4 tens, I have 3. And instead of 6 ones, I have 16. 16 minus 8 is 8. 3 minus 2 is 1. So I know that she has 18 sticks left, and 18 is the other part of 46. Because 28 and 18 will make the 46. Number 2, Rob's class made 31 clay bowls. Sarah's class made 15 clay bowls. How many more clay bowls did Rob's class make than Sarah's class? So this bar model looks a little different because we are comparing two numbers. They want to know how many more, which tells us to do what? How many more? tells us to subtract. That's correct. So Rob's class made 31. So 31 is the whole. Sarah's class didn't make as many. Her class made 15. And they want to know how many more clay bowls did Rob's class make than Sarah's class. So we know that because it said how many more, we're going to subtract. And we have to start with a big number. So 31 minus the 15 equals, and we're going to put our box there because that is the number that we don't know. We're going to make a T over here. 31, 15, and our minus sign. So 1 minus 5. We cannot do that. So we need to go next door. Instead of 3, we have 2 10s, and instead of 1, 1, now we have 11 because we put that 10 over there. 11 minus 5 is 6, and 2 minus 1 is 1. So 16 more, and 16 would be the other part here. That number goes down below here because they didn't make that 16. They just wanted to know what is the difference between these two numbers. So that's why it goes here. So go to your next page. We are on page 263, and we're doing some more problem solving. It says label the bar model, write a number sentence with a blank for the missing number, and then solve. Mr. Hayes makes 32 wooden frames. He gives away 15 frames as gifts. How many frames does he still have? So, do we know the total? Do we know how many he made in all? We do. Our total is 32. That's how many he made in all. So we're going to put that here. And then he gives away 15 of those. So of that 32, he gives away 15. So you need to write a number sentence here with a blank and then solve to find out what is the other part. What part is the other part of 32? Number 4, Wesley has 21 ribbons in a box. He has 15 ribbons on the wall. How many more ribbons does he have in the box than on the wall? So there's that how many more. We have 2 bars here, and we are comparing these numbers. We want to know how many more it would take to make them equal, actually. So we know that he has 21 ribbons in a box. That's the big number. And we know that he has 15 ribbons on the wall. So how many more would it take to make those two the same? So you need to write a number sentence here with a blank and then do the work to find out the answer. Number 5, Jennifer wrote 22 poems. Some of her poems are in her notebook. 7 poems are not in her notebook. So how many poems are in the notebook? So do we know the total? The whole? Right, she wrote 22 poems. She didn't write any more than that. So that's going to be the number here. Now if you look at this bar, the way it's broken, this is a really big part and this is a small part. So it says some of her poems are in her notebook. That would be this part, the sum. 7 poems are not in her notebook. How many poems are in her notebook? What would this number be? So that when you put these two together, you get 22. You need to write a number sentence with a blank and put your answer on the line. And turn your paper over. We're on the back with some problem solving. And it says, Fred had 34 rocks in his collection. Then he got 11 more rocks. How many rocks does Fred have now? This word problem is a little different from what we've been doing because he didn't give away some rocks, he didn't lose some rocks, he got more. So what are you going to do to solve this? Will you add or subtract? You should add to solve this, to find out how many he has now. Number 7, Jean has 54 flowers in her garden. Nico has 19 fewer flowers in his garden. How many flowers does Nico have in his garden? So his number is 19 fewer, 19 less. So you need to make a T and do a number sentence to find out how many flowers Nico has. Remember, it's a smaller number than Jean's. He has 19 fewer. Number 8. There are 154 tulip plants, 162 daisy plants, and 147 rose plants at the store. Are there more tulip plants or more daisy plants? So first of all, there's some information here that we don't need. What are they not asking us about? We don't care how many there are, because we need to know about tulip plants or daisy plants. We do not need to know about rose plants. I'm going to cross that right out. So there are 154 tulip plants and 162 daisy plants at the store. Are there more tulip plants or more daisy plants? You do not need to add or subtract at all in this problem. You are just going to compare those two numbers and tell me which one there is more of. Are there more tulips or are there more daisies? And number 9, there are 48 crackers in the bag. The children eat 25 crackers. How many crackers are still in the bag? You need to make a T over here, use your numbers, and figure out how many crackers are in the bag after they have eaten 25 of them. And when you have completed all of those, then your assignment is done.